We begin with the shameful secrets the taxi industry doesn't want you to know about. Passengers are fed up and hard-working, honest drivers are losing out. Now, this proud cabbie says enough is enough.
It's a three-way standoff. No one is happy.
Everybody's struggling for money.
The charges through the roof.
Very stressed.
Tonight, our exclusive investigation into the taxi industry. The whistleblower who wants to protect passengers. Why do you want to tell your story today?
To protect the public from the dodgy taxi driver.
Customers who think they're being overcharged.
He definitely tried to rip me off. I knew what the fare should be.
And struggling drivers who earn next to nothing and say they're the real victims.
It ain't like it used to be, as we say.
Nasser is a cab owner and driver. He has 6 maxi taxis and a staff of 13. After 7 years in the industry, he's fed up with what he calls the dodgy drivers and is ready to tell all: the rip-offs, the tricks and the overcharging. You've said there are some dodgy drivers out there. What are they doing?
You can rip off in the fare, you can take longer ways, you can change the tariff of the fare from day to night.
Nasser says the easiest way to know if you're being ripped off is to check the meter as soon as you get in. When you get into the taxi, what will the meter say?
350.
350. All taxis?
All taxis the same.
Taxis and maxi taxis?
Taxis and maxi taxis, unless it's a maxi fare.
In Sydney, the only exception is when a maxi taxi has 5 or more passengers. Then it starts at $5.25.
If it's 1 to 4 passengers and it's different than $3.50, there's something wrong.
In Melbourne, the flag fall is $3.20, and in Brisbane, it's time dependent, so always double check. Nasser believes some Sydney drivers deliberately put the meter on the higher flag fall to make extra money. The other sneaky way to increase a fare is to add on things like extra tolls.
You can add anything you want. You can add harbour. That's the harbour bridge, which is total will be $5 for you, including the booking.
In some taxis, those add-on charges don't appear on the meter until the end.
If you go back to the normal fare, it doesn't show how much you're going to be added in the end. Right? So basically, depends on how honest is the driver.
Time of day also affects the price. In Sydney, there are 2 different rates, one from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and a higher one from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Do you believe that some drivers are intentionally changing the tariffs?
Yes, for sure there's someone doing that, definitely.
And that means they're intentionally ripping off customers?
Yes. Yes, they're doing that to get 20% extra. So if the fare is $50, it's going to be $60.
He claims with an old meter, a driver can switch to the higher nighttime rate during the day by pushing a button before the passenger gets in.
You're stealing my card.
There's also growing concern over card skimming.
You put it under there right now. Give my card back.
This driver was filmed by a passenger allegedly swiping his card under the seat.
You're running away from your cab.
Confronted by an alert customer, the driver ran off with the passenger's credit card. It's not hard to find people who think they're being ripped off.
I had it happen yesterday. I was in a taxi and I saw the fare at one price and he put in another fare.
I take the same cab to work every morning, and one day I'll pay 15 and the next I'll pay 8 or 9. And it's usually about the same traffic, same time every day.
I had a row with a taxi driver once who dropped me home when I was in a shared taxi, and he definitely tried to rip me off. I knew what the fare should be, and he charged me a lot more than it should have been from the airport to home.
Nasser's other big tip is for women. His advice: always text or call someone with the taxi number you're in, especially if you've been drinking. That way, if you get ripped off or worse, there's a record of what taxi you were in.
I did that with my husband once because I was really worried about the taxi driver, who was a bit strange.
But despite all the warnings and complaints, most drivers we spoke to believe they're the real victims, ripped off by owners and airports who make the real profits. On a slow day, drivers can earn only $50, or on a really quiet day, no fares means no pay. They also claim the industry encourages them to speed. At Sydney Airport, there's what's called a short fare system, where if a driver gets back in 22 minutes, they get to go to the front of the line.
Do you see drivers speeding to get back because they're rushing so much?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sometimes drive on 100 kilometers per hour in 60 zone.
Were you rushing to get back to try and get...
Yeah, I try to rush to come here.
Drivers often wait in line for up to 2 hours, so going to the front makes a huge difference.
I'm losing altogether like 2 hours just to make $20.
They say small fares of $20 don't even cover their costs. And the big winner is Sydney Airport, as every time a taxi leaves the airport, they get $3.50. If they get back in 22 minutes, that jumps to $7 from just one cab. And literally thousands pass through every day.
It's harder all the time. Yeah, the economy has definitely, dramatically gone down.
Before you work 8 hours, you can make money. Now you work 12 hours, still you make less than you used to.
These drivers claim they work in filthy conditions but have no choice, because getting a fare in the city can be even harder.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no passenger, but too many cabs on the road.
Drivers claim they get too many fines in the city. If a person hails them, they have to stop, or they get stung by fixed cameras. But if the cab stops in a bus lane, for example, they also get a fine, which takes a few days of work to pay. They say there are more honest drivers than dodgy ones, but if you do think you're being ripped off, get their number and report it.
That's my aim, that's my goal. To teach the bad taxi drivers how to be good or to get out of the industry.
And we put a number of questions to the Taxi Association. You can read their answers on our website.